Did you check out the pitch meeting?
Yeah. Halfway suddenly, but it at the same point that I said, he was anti-magic, and then tengok dia pun using magic. It was so stupid lah. The last episode was stupid as hell kan. This guy was supposed to be like anti-witchcraft, anti-magic, tapi dia was revived by magic, and then he used magic to destroy things, and then he was a villain for how many minutes? Lepas tu dah mati.
Yeah. And also he made the joke that I mentioned about her attitude.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be like
Exactly.
cool, not caring, and then keep on helping.
She was supposed to like horrible things and
Yeah.
all this destruction, chaos. But ended up she was she was trying to make things better.
Yeah.
That part was, and then they paused the whole, So, no, it's okay. Just keep on doing it. And the screen fish guy. Halfway like, no, but then I wrote it like that. No, it's okay. It's no problem. What?
Kelakar tu, you just make you wonder, what happens in the writing room when they were thinking about it.
The thing is, that's
your head has to go because it has to tonggang terbalik to keep it consistent.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Total reversal kan. She was like, betul lah. I mean, that part memang I understood. Tapi macam, I thought it was very clear lah kan. That's why I didn't mention it.
Yeah.
Tapi banyak paradox lah.
Yep. So, aku dah tengok dah the bullet train, no? So, what's your opinion on that one?
Yeah, I told you guys kan. Kind of harkens back to like, really, not that old lah, but like early 2000s kind of action films where you had interesting characters, good action scenes, some black comedy kind of style, So it was enjoyable for me. Even though the last part didn't make sense. Kind of was kind of far-fetched, like really Fast and Furious territory, Suddenly the bullet train crash. Kan?
Yeah. Aku like macam they crashed into a sort of like an abandoned village, right? And then suddenly you got hit by a lorry. I was like macam, where does the lorry come from? It's an abandoned village. And then rupanya orang tu
Exactly, he was a driver.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I thought that was pretty smart lah how they
Cakap dia banyak like connections. The last kali the even the bottle had a story. I was like, what?
Yep. So the kelakar tu, and the whole philosophy of the ladybug, how the ladybug, the black dots on the ladybug is actually capturing the bad luck so that everybody else can have good luck. And then it starts to be the ladybug.
But I think that Japanese guy kind of because for the third act was like, alamak, this kind of everything like it was like too much things happening kan, too many characters keep introducing. Got kind to the point macam I was like, when is this gonna end though? Macam the draggy pula at one point. But then the Japanese guy came in, to the backstory, and then it was just cool, and he had his own backstory telling about revenge and whatnot. The way he delivered his lines, that kind of kept the interest back into place lah. Well, like I said, everything was okay. Suddenly, the train crashed and everybody survived. Tahan, no. It's a fucking bullet train, and it crashes down a hill, and everybody survived without a scratch. Even the White Russian survived. And even the daughter, That was like Fast and Furious territory, you know, all the defying logic and physics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but the rest of it was like fun.
One of the parts that got me at first was when Brad Pitt was bitten by the snake. I was like, oh man, what's gonna happen? And then so later he said, "Oh, if I already got a dose of antivenom."
Yeah, that was funny. That was out of the blue and funny. But their whole anti-venom, and that was very intense. That was nice.
Yeah.
Waiting for her to get the antidote, and then he just took it. So okay, harkens back kind of like was really enjoyable films. Tak ada lah messages and all that. Exactly.
Tapi agak lah the way how he wants to be at peace with everybody. I mean, he really does try very hard now. Even whatever guns he have, he just throw away and everything.
Kan dia kata he's the the killer. He's just a fetcher, apa like errand boy. He's just an errand boy. Pay on, exactly. Just get things, fetching things and whatnot. Yeah, but like I said, it's just a fun. It's a fun, It's not like John Wick. John Wick is like an action movie, exciting, and but this had exciting, and then it was at the same time it was fun, and the characters were, were very realistic and memorable.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's why I could recommend it to you. Yeah, that's recommending.
The guy who identified everyone with the Thomas the Train Engine, right?
Thomas the Tank Engine. You can trade.
Oh.
Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, it's not train engine.
It's not Thomas the Train Engine. Hold on. Watched it when we were in UK. All go. Confirm. 100% confident.
Oh, okay.
I grew up. I mean, when we were kids in UK, I remember watching it. Thomas the Tank Engine. Exactly.
Yeah. But itulah. If it wasn't for them actually mentioning that Diesel is the bad one, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Is it? Oh, Diesel.
Yeah. I don't remember all of the characters. All I know is Thomas is the hero. That's all. What is the character of all the rest?
I remember Thomas dengan the conductor je from the cartoons dulu. Thomas the Tank Engine and the conductor, the fat conductor they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, tapi one thing about this, kind of the weak link for me was the female character, that girl, the White Racing daughter.
Okay.
It's like she got away with everything so perfectly, macam. That was kind of annoying, macam.
Yeah.
And she's come on, a bit realistic lah. You had all these like veteran hitmen and bad guys like being in the business for years, and she's like 21, 18, whatever lah kan. Where she can do everything perfectly, Macam okay, that's like, but that's the thing lah. Macam lah, kan there's the term the Mary Sue, kan? Mary Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's what the drinker says is for the the Star Wars the hero.
Yeah, exactly. Ray, exactly.
Ray,
so all there's a lot of Mary Sue characters in films. Exactly. As macam Rings of Power pun Galadriel was a Mary Sue and whatnot. So I think in a way that's the thing, the director was deliberately made into Mary Sue just to macam nak ejek work fans, and then had a kill by just getting hit by a truck. Sedap. That part was like padan. I was like puas hati the character was annoying for me. So I mean, in a way that's the weakest thing. So macam everything she does was perfect. I was like, what? perfect executed or she escaped from the movie semua everything.
Yep.
Exactly. But honestly, like I said, it's the best part of it is there's no like woke agenda or whatever trying to push a message. It's just pure fun. That's what I think last year aku nak ajak kau tengok wayang at that time. Yeah. Then it came out Netflix so quick, so that's why I watched it. Kind of glad. Exactly.
Tapi tu lah. Talking about work agenda and what more on that. So apa namanya, get a lot of my like kata sort of like anti-work view from especially the critical drinker lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, within the movies and whatnot and semua kan. But they, apa nama ni? This week I stumbled upon a lot of videos from the pillar of garbage. Have you heard?
Is this Scottish guy also? Ke?
Huh? I'm
He's a British
sure.
guy. British guy.
Aku pun tak ingat lah dia punya accent dia. Tenang. Tapi dia banyak videos dia that counter balik apa nama ni, what is said by critical drinker lah. So that's one of the things yang macam one of the reasons why I watch apa ni, Knives Out and Glass Onion tu. Tahu ni.
Oh, okay.
Kalau critical drinker kan dia apa ni, kutuk tentang Glass Onion lah.
But have you seen the first film or not? Knives Out.
Knives Out dah. Petang ni, baru tadi petang ni.
Oh, but that means you saw Glass Onion then baru Knives Out.
Yeah.
Alamak, that kind of. How's that? Did that spoil the experience for you?
No. I mean, benda ni adalah apa nama ni? I found that it's very interesting because it was the whole layering of Knives Out is so much different than the starkness of Glass Onion. So the Glass Onion is like everything is like very sort of like macam in plain sight lah, which was one of the things that was criticized by critical drinker lah. So
it happens to be at the right time at the right moment when the secret is being discussed. Coincidence much, yeah.
So
yeah, correct. Knives Out, I came out. I saw it when it came out, and I really enjoyed it. So kind of harkens back to like the Hercule Poirot, Agatha Christie kind of mystery, but with a comedic twist, lah kan. And it wasn't like it wasn't the emphasis wasn't on the mystery. It was more on like the adventure concept. Like adventure, like the action going on, things like that lah. You didn't care who done it lah. Like Hercule Poirot, you kind of like who done it. So it's smart in a way because of the characters lah for Knives Out. And then Glass Onion. I enjoyed Glass Onion as an entertainment, but I gotta agree again. It's dumb. While I was watching, that's so dumb. It's so simple that it's dumb. But
tapi itulah, that's one of the things yang ni, because I watched it. It's because I saw the videos of Pillar of Garbage tu. So the Pillar of Garbage tu, when he criticized apa namanya, critical drinker view on the Glass Onion tu, his view of it is that because Robert Miles, the rich guy, is apa nama dia? What's the director's name? Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson.
You know he directed Last Jedi, man.
Yes, I know. The one that spoiled it all. The one that made Luke Skywalker drink blue milk.
Exactly.
So the thing is, apa namanya? Sorry, what was? Okay, so Robert Miles is made to be stupid because Rian Johnson hates Elon Musk.
That's a coincidence.
So,
Faham tak?
apa dia?
No, that was a coincidence. He kept saying, Rian Johnson kept saying in interviews, because people kept comparing Glass Onion to Elon Musk. Mainly because Elon Musk was in the news because of the Twitter takeover, and he kept defending. It wasn't about Elon Musk. Exactly. Like, kalau kau tengok, I don't know. Even if you, I mean, macam for me, I read Elon Musk's biography. I didn't see the similarities. But people kept, that's why it's kind of weird for me, because people kept comparing it. Okay. Exactly. Okay. And sorry, continue then.
Okay, so he intentionally made Robert Miles too stupid. So,
Because I AJ Elon Musk.
So, like, okay. That's pretty.
That's the thing, though. People, it's not. That's the problem with people making assumptions because of I don't know why people made the assumption yet that Miles was based on Elon Musk. I mean, if anybody knew Elon Musk before the Twitter takeover and read his autobiography, I mean, not autobiography, biography, everybody would know he was a smart guy who saw the future. Exactly. And he didn't steal ideas. A lot of his ideas were bought by other people. That's how he became rich. His ideas were worth something. All the SpaceX, Tesla, PayPal, and PayPal wasn't his idea, PayPal bought his company. Exactly.
Tapi tu lah, macam Tesla tu, he joined later.
He joined later,
and then
correct, macam PayPal pun he join later. SpaceX dia yang he was ni. But SpaceX too, he talked to a lot of people to get funds. He went to meetings, he went to, talk about people, scientists, people who are interested in science. Even like directors, millionaires and all that. Exactly. That's the thing lah. So tu cakap. So it's just because of the concept coincidence takeover of Twitter. Exactly. So that's what people were comparing to. So that's the problem because of these parables and everything. Everything is related. Yang tak ada kena-mengena pun people see it, Aduh. Except people say, oh, okay. Apa? There was a few tau I saw. I remember lah. There's so many lah sekarang banyak orang macam compare. Oh, this is supposed to be a critique of President Trump. It was a TV show or something. And then the writer had to say, no, it was supposed to be a spoof of president in the movie lah, something kan. Not President Trump kan. And then there was a Twitter war lah between the writer and the people, all the audience who made the interpretation. Exactly. So satire is no more broad though. Satire has become so pinpointed and direct that it's no longer. Yeah, the point of satire is to be broad. It's not supposed to be. Miles so most probably represents any billionaire. They are dumb billionaires. I mean,
Yeah, any billionaires. Like people who attribute greatness to them just because they are rich and they got
exactly correct. And then they stole ideas. I mean, even Bill Gates when he stole ideas and he just bought other people's stuff starting Microsoft. Yeah. He didn't invent anything. Exactly. So except for basic lah kan. Exactly. To use out there and all that. But like I think it's like amalgam of different people lah for me. That's why when I read after watching it, and aku banyak baca people comparing Miles Braun, bukan Robert Miles Braun to Elon Musk. I was like, okay. I kind of didn't see it. I mean, tapi honestly, I kind of enjoyed it, even though it was quite dumb. It was like, it's enjoyable. Tu aku nak I was wondering, I bet any of you guys watched it kan? Now you told me you watched it. Okay. I watched it last year lah.
I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Sama lah.
I enjoyed
even though it was dumb.
I enjoyed Knives Out a lot.
I mean, I enjoyed Knives Out when it first came out. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot lah. I kind of loved it, the fact that it was a simple storyline. Macam go back to the mystery movie, detective movies. So Glass Onion, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I thought it was dumb juga lah. Macam Bullet Train lah. I thought the ending was so dumb. The writer probably switched off their brain or something. But what happened, like 2/3 of it was like, okay, it was enjoyable, kind of forgive it.
Apa nama ni?
Exactly.
So the thing is, yang the pillar of garbage tu lah, yang dia ada mention dari segi Rian Johnson punya apa nama ni, specialty, soalan macam his calling card is to ni lah, to deconstruct establish the tropes and ideas lah. So that is the whole thing that he did with like for example Knives Out. Untuk ni, it is the whodunit genre is already have a certain way of flow. Untuk ni.
Correct.
So Rian Johnson think of a way of how do you want to turn it on its head. So
right. That's why in the middle of the Knives Out, it showed how the guy died, how the old man died.
Yeah. So and then tengok when turn it on its head, there was still another side of it that was even more. The ending was really satisfying. Especially the part where he wanted to kill Lady G. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Salah. Kata because usually detective movies aren't funny kan, so you kind of like the comical element, the fact that she puked every time she told a lie.
Yeah.
All those kind of things put together. And then Hugh, it was you. It was you. All those things that's kind of smart. That's why the writing was nominated. But at the same time, I mean, I have seen all of Rian Johnson's films. So for what you're saying for Knives Out, I think that rings true. Even in a way for Star Wars pun sama juga kan,
Itu
that's why they were so.
Yeah, when I think of what I saw in Star Wars, like that's what he did.
Yeah,
and like
he made it okay. It's never. Yeah, but then he made it dumb. Last time macam Glass Onion, it was so dumb. You can actually kill people with light speed.
And
with science, bombs can actually drop. Bombs can in space. Bombs actually drop without gravity. And then and when you think just when Finn dah nak sacrifice, Rose pergi swooped in and stopped. I was like, what? Aduh. And then Luke Skywalker was supposed to be like this noble guy, turned out to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Who threw a lightsaber, something that he loved, and then he just threw it. So macam, dia nak subvert expectations, but ended up being dumb lah. Sama macam Glass Onion in a way lah. But at least Glass Onion was enjoyable.
That's the thing.
Star Wars wasn't enjoyable.
Because I think what happened with that,
tapi
people
the
have
ending,
expectation with Star Wars. People have expectation with Star Wars. They already know how the world was supposed to work. They already have, and they love Luke Skywalker. And then suddenly you destroyed all of that. That is macam with Glass Onion, though it's fine lah because there's nobody cares.
Except Benoit Blanc lah. Benoit Blanc was the only character that was consistent from the Knives Out movies again.
Yeah.
The rest pening. But that's the thing about Night at Glass Onion. I enjoyed it to a point. Juga sama macam Bullet Train. Up to the point tiba-tiba apa ni? What was the real Maria? Apa ni? The sister name was Andy. What was her name? Maria.
Darla.
Darla.
The
Andy
twin
was
sister name.
Twin. Andy was the real person kan? Wasn't Darla? Darla. Malia ke Darla? Tak ingat lah. So like a month ago. Anyway, I like that until Darla started to smash the glass. Smash the glass. At that point, I was like, this is like, this is so childish and so dumb. You know, pecah. Everybody got in on it, and then she burned, and then the Mona Lisa's house burned. I was like, and then everybody survived. I was like, the glass
Helen
exploded.
Helen and Andy Brand.
Helen
and Andy Brand. Helen.
Oh, okay. Helen. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So until that point, like I said, I enjoyed it. It was kind of dumb. Kita enjoyed it again because, but then it got really dumb when suddenly they brought the glass, and then exploded the house, and then everybody just came out, and then everybody turned against Miles. I was like, okay. Because for me, the fact that she broke them macam childish, and I can't get my way. Pum. Instead of being smart, doing something to outwit. Because mine's supposed to be dumb now, so she should have done something to prove that she was smarter or outwit.
Yeah.
But instead, she broke his collection. Okay, that was even dumber than mine. Mine would have done. That would have been smart if she did something that was smart because mine was so dumb. She outsmarted him. Yeah. But then I was like, everybody joined in.
But the thing is, I mean, in a sense, there was no way for her to get any kind of justice anymore. Right? Because there was no more evidence.
That's the thing, that's where you have to use the scriptwriter do something smart. Again, it subverts expectations. Instead of okay, let's get revenge by doing something stupid. It was just, I don't know, it was just annoying pula. All part of smashing things, macam macam it's like, it wasn't smart for me. It wasn't smart, and it wasn't smart writing, and it wasn't a smart move. I mean, lain kalau kata she threw the crystal back into the fireplace or wherever, and then that wouldn't okay, alright. There had to be this whole breaking glass, pop. Nak lepas geram. I understand that concept kan. But I don't know, kind of macam disappointed with that. But go back to what we said about Rian Johnson's style and subverting thing. So I watch all this film. There's kalau kau tengok lupa tak?
Lupa? The title of the movie lupa. Lupe, is it?
No. Looper. It's a time travel movie.
Oh, yeah. Apa ni? Apa nama the guy? Hero dia? Apa?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Yeah.
So that was a Rian Johnson.
He had a talk with his own self at the cafe.
Correct.
That was extremely. Yeah.
That was Rian Johnson juga. Yeah, exactly. So there was certain things in there that was kind of, yeah. The ending I thought was kind of dumb. I mean, again goes back to the whole movie. I thought was really nice and all, but the ending, he just shot himself and then his future self disappeared. Kind of defeat the whole apa ni? Yelah, kalau kau tengok time travel movies kan, dan It doesn't make sense. That's why time is parallel instead of if he killed himself, that means himself wouldn't have traveled back in time. Everything that Bruce Willis didn't matter lah, faham tak? Exactly. So concept of time is parallel instead of time. When it changes, something becomes an alternate universe, which is most movies punya theories. Now another movie called Break. Break is about a high school punya murder case. One of his first movies. So that was about he deconstructs films lah. Macam Break was a film noir. It was a detective story, macam serious punya lah. We were set in a school. But that wasn't deconstructing a genre or subverting expectations lah. Exactly. So not all his films are macam cakap lah, nak gasan like deconstructing a person apa semua lah. I think it's just recent je lah kalau you're talking about it kan. But that's the thing about Rian Johnson films. They try to be smart, but some of the decisions are quite dumb lah. Except for Knives Out lah. Knives Out was okay. And his all films are stylish lah. Like Break was very stylish. Kalau kau tengok Break kan, it's very stylish. But at the same time, it's quite boring juga lah. If you don't like film noir punya genre. Exactly. I mean, macam ni kan, kata Star Wars lah, that's the best example lah of dumb. Smart trying to be dumb lah. Exactly. Except, correct, like you said, because you're talking about turning existing property on his head and trying to do something different.
Yeah.
That made it dumber lah kan. Exactly.
That is one of those things that I don't know whether to say whether to say it's easier or it's harder, because you already have an established world, right? So you want to extend something new within that world. Sometimes once everything is already established, and then you start to feel like everything is just wrong already, right? Like for example, like for example, John Wick. John Wick 1, that was a bit of a mysterious untuk ni. And then John Wick 2, suddenly there was a whole world of assassins that and then like macam, okay. So once you understand that, it's like there's nothing
special about him.
Novel. There's nothing novel.
Unique.
So that's one of the things that a bit difficult with something that is already well established lah. So even though
but then John Wick 1, they actually teased the fact that not assassin but they teased that it was an underworld because the hotel was for underworld people to stay kan, a special hotel for people in the underworld, these gangsters.
But it was still mysterious at the time.
Yeah, but then the fact that
no mysterious like macam
yeah. I mean, you have a kind of a feeling that, I don't know, that this is my expectation. By John Wick 4, probably halfway through the movie, you kind of get bored because he seems to be invincible, Nobody can kill him. In the end of the third one, he fell down a building and he didn't die. Imagine that. Can you imagine 3 movies, assassins were chasing him from all around the world. And he fell down a building, how many stories building, he didn't die. So kalau 4 by the mid of the movie lah, man, probably like he's invincible,
Yeah.
You probably get bored by that's my aku expect lah by the middle of the movie.
Well,
but that's the thing about John Wick though, is it's not the fact that it's how stylish it is.
Yeah.
That's what enjoyable part lah. You know, how stylish it is, what the characters that's inside.
Yeah.
Exactly. How cool. Yeah, how cool it is. Exactly. And that's the whole point of movies that nowadays that people forget, you know, because of the agenda and political ideology. It's not about, you know, what I mean. To be entertaining is one thing, lah, but to do something that shows, you know, the kind of intriguing, and you want to see what happens next, you know. Exactly. There's something at stakes lah. That was like I said, kalau John Wick macam tu dah tak ada nothing at stake, it's invisible, dah jadi boring lah at one point.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you watch a lot of movies, you tengok macam okay, especially Marvel lah. Dia macam he's in danger, you kind of know lah, he's going to survive.
Yeah.
That's why it's super easy belly inconvenience. It's gonna be super easy belly inconvenience. Aduh. Exactly. So that memang resonated lah bila aku tengok I saw them like Marvel movies and all that. Macam exactly, modern movies. Yeah, of course lah. Even tapi at least if you know that person that's gonna die, tapi at least there's a point where you go, okay, you know, this got me on my feet. Macam Bullet Train, you know, characters that you didn't think was gonna die died. And then Brad Pitt masa kena snake tu, I was like, again, you kind of okay, there's a possibility he might die, you know. Because other characters died, so it's still, you kind of know, but at the same time you're like, oh man, you know. Like you said just now, but then you remember the anti-venom and all that. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That's Bullet Train is refreshing in that way lah. It made it realistic and entertaining and cool. Balik lah to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So one of the
nice,
another part because I watch quite a lot lah of the Pillar of Garbage videos. So one of his videos, he was countering critical drinkers video about She-Hulk. You know how She-Hulk is a woke agenda of women.
Pillar Garbage ni is Pillar Garbage ni is satire ke real punya ni?
It's a real channel lah.
No, there's a one channel I saw. It's a satire lah. It was dia sebenarnya Jake macam lawyer is praising the film, like all these work films and all that, but it's supposed to be like macam it's praising it, and people are supposed to be laughing at it, you know. Look at her, she's so strong, you know, she can do this. That's why they were so awesome, you know, and things like that lah. So but Garbage is not criticizing movies, it's criticizing other channels.
Tak, dia criticizing movies, tapi also part of what he does is also react to other people's reaction lah.
Yeah, but what kind of movies does this person criticize, for example? But how can you criticize movies tapi you criticize critical drinker? That's I don't understand. Because he makes valid points from that.
So so we talk about Star Wars, Endor, about Rick and Morty, about X-Men, a lot of ni lah, a lot of all the entertainment things like Loki, anyway, one of his points about She-Hulk things that got me somewhat thinking about it was She-Hulk tu, the approach is sitcom. So if you approach it as a sitcom, then it's funny lah. It was supposed to be apa nama ni? Funny, light-hearted untuk ni. But everybody's taking it so seriously.
No, the thing is, it's not funny no lah. You never seen it kan? That's the thing.
Yeah, I never seen it.
Tak, you understand tau, it's supposed to be a sitcom, not supposed to take it seriously. I mean, I understood that part, semua kan watch everything. But the problem is, it's not funny tau. Dia macam shock sendiri. I don't know if aku tak tahu lah example of shock sendiri punya cerita macam apa. Can't think of one right now. But the thing is, dia macam shock sendiri, and it's telling, and dia banyak break the fourth wall. So dia macam dia shock sendiri, lepas tu dia bagi tahu kita dia shock sendiri juga. Faham tak? Like you said lah, when I told you kan, the interview the writer kan, dia kata, oh, by the third episode, everybody was, we had all this troll riled up and get mad at our show, and I was so happy. And then he said, most probably she did that because that wasn't the intention, tapi dah it became like that, and tak laku became so crappy that was it as an excuse to say that's why it's so shitty lah, because we wanted to troll you. That's how it is, faham tak? It's not the fact that it's like this. The thing is, people had high expectation. It doesn't matter that it's sitcom or drama. People had high expectation because of Marvel property. So when it tries to be a sitcom and it wasn't funny, so macam itu yang macam orang like, it wasn't good lah, faham tak? That wasn't funny, and it wasn't even a good show. Exactly. It's like, in other words, for example, if it was called something else, like you know, what's her name? She-Hulk name. Maria benda tak ingat. Marla Wizard Attorney at Law ke apa. It's called She-Hulk Attorney at Law kan. Katalah, you know, Maria whatever lah, the Attorney at Law. And you watched it, you after second episode you would have macam, tak nak this is so boring. People watch it lah, because but the fact that it was She-Hulk and it was Marvel show, so people kept watching it lah. Not to intentionally throw, you know, tomatoes at it or nak throw shit at it. It's just that because they wanted to watch it lah kan. Hoping that it would get better. But then it got worse and worse and worse. Sampai the last episode, She-Hulk got out of the show. Kalau kau tengok, she actually jumped out of the show of the Disney Channel app. And she hung on the shows. And then she hit the button for She-Hulk, and then dia masuk into the writer's room. And met Kevin Feige lah sepatutnya, but Kevin turns out to be a robot. Came up with algorithm. Faham tak? It's so meta. Tak nak? It thinks it's smart. That's the problem. Shock sendiri lah. It thinks it's smart and it's funny, but it's not. And it keeps telling us as audiences, you know, you're not supposed to tell. If you're funny, just be funny. Don't tell people, I'm funny, damn it, laugh. Why are you laughing? I'm funny, you know. I'm smart, you know. Please laugh, you know. Tell me how smart I am. That's the show punya kind of intonation that it carried. It's telling you it's smart. It's telling you you're supposed to be laughing because it's funny. But instead, but that's the thing lah. I asked you once, and corporate call me Chato. Call me Chato used to be called the former network executive reviews. Then they changed to call me Chato lah. So he also thumbs out the shows and work. Tapi he's more like a professor style lah. Tak ada lah macam fandom style lah. So he did one show where they criticized the She-Hulk, and it was so smart how he did it. He said, okay, I got a writer, I got a letter from one of the writers who watched my video. It wasn't true, of course, okay. He always does this, I get phone calls. So I'm going to read the letter to you, okay? So in episode, you've been criticizing our show as a common executive. You should know what quality sitcoms are, well, because you approved some of the quality sitcoms in when you were working. When She-Hulk went to a wedding, for example, and then she couldn't find a dress to wear, that was supposed to be funny. Every girl, every woman in her 30s could relate to that. I'm sorry you're a guy in your 70s and you couldn't relate to that, but it was funny. Check out all these things. Oh, and then when she did this, that was funny. So if you're not a woman, you wouldn't get it. So that's why you didn't think it was funny. And when this happened, so I'm sorry, you are not the audience that you're looking for. So please don't watch our show. So I kept laughing and aku tengok komen semua orang ni, it's like it turned itself on its head lah. Where the show was telling people, I'm funny, damn it, so laugh at me. In the letter too, instead of criticizing, he made it sound that way. As if the writers are saying, why, you don't share, the show is not made for you. So why are you watching it, If you don't get the jokes, then it's not our problem, it's your problem. That means you don't have a sense of humor. Okay. That's the thing, right? That is what got people riled up and macam bengal, because it wasn't a good show, It's not the fact that you took it seriously. It's just especially what's supposed to come off as funny. For example, in the first episode, She-Hulk kept getting on Hulk's nerves lah. Always tunjuk dia pandai. Hulk was trying to advise, being kind towards her. She just like, oh, I don't need this. I'm smarter than you lah. I'm better than you lah. Why is that funny? Kalau kau tengok, I was like, how is this supposed to be funny? It's like you're a teacher and you're trying to, it's like, imagine a sitcom, there's a teacher trying to teach a student, but instead of student wanting to learn, the student check out, I'm smarter than you, teacher. I can do this. This is easy. I'm better than you, Why? How is that supposed to be funny? Bila kau tengok kan? Just somebody tu nak belagak pandai when somebody is just being nice to you. So macam, I was like, okay. That's the thing. It was bad. Doesn't matter it was She-Hulk or Marvel girl. It's just bad. Exactly. That's the point of it. Aku tak tahu lah kalau Pillow Garbage liked it, but I'm disappointed lah if Pillow Garbage liked it lah. Because doesn't seem to have this person have good taste lah. Even Farid thought it was garbage. Macam same with Obi-Wan lah kan. I mean, there was no intention to criticize the show because it just, this is interesting because it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, And then you saw it was it was one dumb decision after another. Like, okay. Again, it goes back to macam kita tengok Star Wars The Last Jedi lah. You and me, we had no intention to criticize it. I had no idea when The Last Jedi came out because I saw it like 9 months after it came out in cinemas. Aku download kan. I mean, you watched it at cinemas twice kan. So I didn't know there was so much toxicity around it. I had no idea. But then I was watching, I was like, one by one, I was like, what the heck is this? It's just so dumb and, apa benda ni? I was expecting to be entertained. It was like one dumb thing after another. Then I searched the internet, and it was everywhere, like, all these people, these videos, these articles, all this, even screen rant, apa ni yang Honest Trailer punya channel. They had questions after watching The Last Jedi. They made a fun of it. Does Snoke matter? No. Oh, who was it? Skywalker. All these questions I asked on the. Also, if you can kill people with light speed, why didn't you just put light speed on missiles and just use all this? Why? Why didn't you make the shit out of it? Exactly. All the things again. So kita tengok and I got and the thing with She-Hulk was sama lah. It wasn't because our expectation. It's just you just watch it and it's like, what the heck? You said you. I mean, when you told me you watched it twice at the cinemas, I didn't. I told you not to spoil it to me, and then when I watched it and I told you I watched it, you told me you hated it. I was like, okay, so I wasn't the only one. No? Exactly.
Apa namanya? Another new thing that I was just Yalah, sebab dia baru keluar kan. Aku tak tahu kau dah tengok tak. Kau ada HBO right? The Last of Us. The Last of Us.
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen it yet?
No. So it's based on a video game again?
Yeah. So I played the video game and for me, it was one of those video games that I'm like, oh man. Especially the ending. I'm not going to spoil it for you lah. But I love the ending so much. The Last of Us 1. And then The Last of Us 2.
You mean the game or the series?
The game.
Oh, the game.
The Last of Us 2. I think even Critical Drinker pun ada episode apa.
On the game?
On the game. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't played Last of Us 2 yet lah. Tapi I know all of the criticization of it lah. But Last of Us 1, man, the development, the pacing within the game, because the game was made, memang the game itself feels like you are watching movie. The only part of which is game is where you are controlling the action lah. Where, like, for example, Joel have to run from one side of the town to the other side of the town. That's the kind of thing that you control. But apart from that, the storyline is very tight. It's very, very tight. There's no like, you don't have any options to, it goes, some games, you if you do this will happen. If you do this will happen. But there's none of that. Last of Us was very direct. But because of that, the payoff in the storyline is extremely satisfying. So the storyline itself was very, very nice. So when I saw, earlier this week, I saw the first episode of The Last of Us, the adaptation lah, the TV adaptation tu ni.
Keluar one episode dah sedap kan?
I think sepatutnya minggu ni dah keluar 2 kot.
On Sunday. Usually on Sunday on HBO.
So apa nama ni? My take on the first episode though, it reminds me a lot of the feelings that I had when I was playing the game. Waktu the beginning lah. We don't know yet how it's going to develop kan. But how the feeling of the distress, the how you feel sorry for Joel for his loss and everything is there lah. Like, so far, kata kalau game adaptation itu movie ke apa benda, so far is the best I've seen lah.
Not movie lah, series.
Yeah, series. TV.
Mana ada game? There are a lot of games that will turn into series pun in the first place.
Yeah.
Compared to movies. Aku rasa Halo je. The other game that was turned into a series yang Halo je lah. Okay, interesting.
So, itulah. Try lah, tengok untuk ni. Memang, for me, episode 1 tu was best. Tengok nanti episode 2 macam.
But then HBO was always had quality programming, you know. Yelah, I mean, talking about Silicon Valley, House of Dragon, Game of Thrones and all that. Westworld, and dia punya political idealism dia taklah stand out sangat in shows like Netflix ke Disney ke.
Tapi
memang
bila kau cakap tentang Westworld tu lah, macam oh my god. I love the first season of Westworld. And then season 2
cerita aku tak nak tengok. I guess that's why it got cancelled before the final season lah. Because supposed to be in the final season kan, got cancelled before. HBO lately aku tengok White Lotus lah. I don't know if you heard or not.
What?
The White Lotus.
Oh, okay. It's another series, is it?
It's an anthology series. That means every season dia macam Knives Out lah. Means the first season was different characters, second season with different characters, but only one character remains. You gotta watch it to. I can't explain it though, because it's a deep show though.
Okay.
It's the premise is simple. It's about a family. It's about this characters going on a holiday in Hawaii. The first season, second season, characters going holiday in Italy. So that's the premise again. But the thing is, there's so many layers to it. It gets you thinking now. That's what's so smart about it. The storylines the characters are interesting, and then the storyline is interesting. And then you realize there's layers, this is supposed to be satire, or this is supposed to be deconstructing the myth of certain things, or this is supposed to be a direct approach to certain topics. So you realize that that's the thing. That's the thing. Like when I first saw it, I was like, and it's so simple. Then because it's weekly, so before the second episode comes, you kind of think about it. Hey, wait. It's not a twist, bukan macam Westworld, kind of twist and all that. Like I said, the premise is simple. There's no twist in the story. It's not supernatural or science fiction. It's a straight up drama. But the thing is, how they play it out, that you think, okay. It's a parable. It's a parable. Instead of a metaphor, it's a parable. Exactly, so that's why it's kind of smart.
There was one time on Netflix, they had a story that was like adventure game book though. You can choose what the character is going to do next, and then it goes on.
Joe Devil. Joe Devil. Something wolf from the Joe Devil je, baca Joe Devil lah. JOE. Kan Netflix ada. Netflix kan buat some macam Black Mirror. Black Mirror punya episode tu, there was a Captain Underpants, there was a Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, but you choose the situation. Tapi the books we used to read to Joe Devil lah, JOE space DEVE, Joe Devil books. The most famous one Wolf. They had Wolf in the title. Banyak.
Yeah. This is yang Kai Wolf Kai tu kan. Tapi Netflix punya tu buat apa benda
Black Mirror lah, Bandersnatch apa benda.
Bandersnatch. Bandersnatch.
Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch. Because one thing that I remember so much about that one was when one of the characters introduced the idea that because of like everything is repeating again and again, it doesn't matter. So like, and then okay, so kalau you really believe in it, kita We kill ourselves. And then nanti I can continue lagi. Macam lepas tu ada je you can choose whether you gonna go first ataupun the other guy go first. Lepas tu dia. Kalau the other guy go first.
Kan dia kata there was 20 endings they did for Bandersnatch. I mean that the whole concept was based on Joe Devil books, and that's kind of what Netflix wanted. Then they did for other shows also lah. Yeah, I was kind of excited lah masa tengok Bandersnatch ni. Because it reminded me so much of the Joe Devil books. Exactly.
Itu ya. I thought because it was one of those Black Mirror things also, right?
Yelah, Black Mirror Bandersnatch. It was a special episode of Black Mirror lah, just for interactive. The rest of the Black Mirrors were there's an anthology lah.
Yeah.
So just one episode, one shot, macam short movie lah. Exactly. Asal kau tiba sebut pasal tu Bandersnatch.
No, the whole idea. I don't know why suddenly I thought of that idea of how meaningless apa namanya everything is, and it just is on repeat.
No matter what you do, the conclusion is the same.
Okay. No matter what you do, I mean, you can choose whatever, but it doesn't affect anything else.
It doesn't affect the outcome lah. Betul lah, no matter what you do, the ending still the same.
Okay. Alright. I can't really think of the tak apalah. Anyway.
No, because no matter what you do, the outcome will always be the same. That's the kind of the idea lah. Anyway, before we finish off kan, I guess there's a few I've been watching, like I told you, I've seen mostly documentaries lah. So like don't pick up the phone. Don't pick up the phone. It's a documentary. I don't know have you seen it on Netflix? Advertised. So it's about these. There was actually a movie that I saw a few years back. It was called Conviction. Anyway, it was about. It was based on true events. I remember but it was about a hoax call. Then somebody pretended to be a police officer was more. So it was kind of based on true events. So I read like a small article on it. So when I saw that Netflix was releasing a documentary on it, I thought, okay, this is interesting. I received it in my list. And I watched it this week. And it seems the real case here, it has been happening for 10 years. And it happens like hundreds and hundreds of times. So what happens is that there's this guy who calls fast food restaurants posing to be a police officer. And he makes all these people that answer the call, and managers that answer the calls, sexually abuse the staff. Exactly. So you can imagine hundreds of times this happen. I was like, what? And the fact that people never question, you just said the police officer, they never seen the guy. They never, who knows who he is, where he is. So he's been calling from like hundreds of miles away, can you? I was at the shop. And it worked so many times. And the best part is, I think the guy was caught, but he was never put in jail. You should watch it lah. I mean, it's like it's kind of amazing lah how people have the power, using the power of persuasion. We were just talking about a few weeks ago about impressionable and all that again. But they talk about young people, but I'm talking about older people yang actually believe in all these incidents and whatnot. They sexually abuse people because the guy on the phone told them to. I was like, whoa, that's crazy, man. Exactly. Another documentary I saw last week was about Bernie Madoff lah kan. Exactly. So Bernie Madoff, I mean, everybody knows Bernie Madoff's story about Ponzi scheme and all that, but it's interesting because he got into more detail of how he did what he did. So it was like he kind of knew the story, but I thought the real story was more to it, kind of get into deeper length, deeper analysis and study of the cases and all that. Again, it was okay. This is nice. I mean, it was interesting. But don't pick up the phone to me, man. Definitely you should watch it because kind of mind blowing that the fact that this guy can do it and got away with it. And you don't even know what's his motivation, because yang dapat gratification was the person that was answering the phone. Faham tak? He was just talking je. So you kind of go, what motivates this guy to actually do this thing? Of course, it's power lah kan. One of the things that is power, but in what way does that, help you or make you feel powerful?
Having a feeling of controlling other people.
I know.
Even through the phone.
What's this? Yeah, but that's the thing. What's the satisfaction of being through the phone when you can't see it from that? You can't see the fact that you're controlling someone. So, okay. And the fact that a lot of people didn't call bullshit on him, that's amazing. People actually believed him and they actually did all these things.
So, that's the thing. Sebenarnya aku tak tahu don't know to say how gullible the people who answered the ni kan. But because I'm Malaysia ni, especially now, I keep on getting calls from the police, from LHDN, from all kinds of court.
Yeah, but that's scam, right? Itu nak duit.
Yeah. But same thing. People of authority and
but then you're scared. I mean, there's this. When it first came, Macau scam, when it first came, everybody believed it because it's like, then they started to spread out and people started to know. But the thing is, you just got scared because of money. It's like, ni macam, example, you got a call and that person asks you to assault someone you don't know sexually, faham tak? That's like, the gullibility in that is different. In terms of money tu faham lah, like, oh shit, that's because money is a necessity, so everybody needs it, everybody uses it. So ni macam like, you're scared, excited, like, if you don't rape this person, I'm gonna arrest you, for example, like, what? But then you still go along with it, like, even though you don't, this person's not even in front of you, he's on the phone. Exactly. Anyway, you should watch it. I mean, aku tak nak go into spoiler territory that much, but
yeah. Just before we close, the final thing. Another thing that probably sometimes on the phone, but I know it's mentioned through the mail and everything, was Shawshank's Redemption. He prepared everything, all the accounts and everything through the from jail. Yeah. Everything.
No, that was possible. No, that was possible because the warden yang kasih access.
Yeah.
The warden wanted to launder the money. So he made it. He didn't know how to launder money. So Andy Dufresne knew how to do it, and he created the system where they could launder money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You just do the phone, all the instruction and everything.
But you have to understand that was back in the 1950s,
Yeah.
into this modern 1950s dulu, you can get away with a lot of things that you can imagine. Exactly. Dulu get away with murder pun boleh. There was no DNA ke apa. That's why the Zodiac killer. A lot of serial killers remain unsolved at that time. Exactly. So it's a different time. Macam cuaca aku faham. Because like I said, it's not on the phone, it's by mail. Yeah, isi borang. Yeah. Because that was the system back then. And the thing is, the warden wanted Andy referring to launder the money. He didn't know how. He just wanted Andy to launder the money, and he didn't know. He didn't know how the process went, and he thought it was safe. But then, like I said, he was smart lah. Exactly.
Okay, lah, Mai.
Hey, all right.
It's been a great episode. And so since Farid is not around, we get to talk about the stuff that he doesn't watch.
Anyway, well, go back to what I talked about, the topics again. So I thought it'd be fun. There's two ways to approach this. One is that we choose the person who's going to have the space for that episode, or we can do a like Talia Lai Tamplom on at the beginning of the show, and then we get chosen.
Okay.
Just to have a fun factor lah.
Yeah,
exactly. So it'll be more impromptu and stuff like that. So that's the thing I can discuss.
Yeah. So there's a chance. There's a part of it that is completely unscripted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean that's the whole point. It's scripted in a way that you know what's kind of the mindset to it. Correct. So kita dah macam prepared mentally. You want to talk about this topic. Exactly.
All right.
And there's kind of a suspense to it.
We're gonna Rian Johnson this thing up.
Your usual podcast.
Yes. Okay, man.
All right.
So thanks a lot. All right.
Okay, I got. Salam.